After 1 year, 1 season away from this series, it is back. You have all asked for it, wondered where it went. The Kleschka Picks is here for the NFL season this time around. Let's get it going!
Let's go, let's go!
That is right, Kleschka Crew. Kleschka Picks is back. I just did not feel that same passion, that same love at the point I was at last year for this series, but it has returned full force. I even got the F-Boy shades for the first episode, and we're getting started with Thursday Night Football, Chiefs and Lions. I think by this point, the way Patrick Mahomes is taking care of this Chiefs team, everybody knows how good they are. Even with Travis Kelce's status in the air, not really knowing if he's going to play or not, this Chiefs team is still dangerous. I like to call it the Tom Brady effect. No matter who is out there catching passes for Patrick Mahomes, he can make them look like a superstar. Tom Brady had that effect, and I think we're seeing it now with Patrick Mahomes. And when it comes to the Lions, we saw some changes in their backfield. They got David Montgomery now. They lost Jamal Williams. And the team last year, I'm not going to lie, showed some potential, some shine, and definitely is looking like they could be even better this year. But when you're going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, last year's Super Bowl champions, it's going to be a little tough. Probably going to be not fun start to your season, but I honestly don't think they will absolutely destroy them. I actually think they will be able to compete with them and make the game entertaining. So give me the Chiefs winning the first game of the year, 34-24. Panthers and Falcons. Both of these teams are pretty mediocre, and they are going to be fighting for that same division, the NFC South. We saw the Panthers add a good running back in Miles Sanders, and their rookie quarterback will be Bryce Young. For the Falcons, they're going with Desmond Ridder. You know, he saw some action last year. Didn't really show too much to make me go, wow, look at that quarterback. But I do think he's going to have a little bit more experience, obviously, already having some time in the NFL. Bryce Young hasn't even got that welcome to the NFL moment yet. I'm sure that is going to be coming in this first game, especially against a division opponent. And I think it'll just take him a few games to get his feet wet, get the ball rolling. I think it'll be a slow start for him coming to the NFL. And I think we're going to see the Falcons pull off this win, 23-20. Ravens and Texans, we obviously know how this Ravens team can perform. We've seen what Lamar Jackson can do. Athletic, one of the greatest mobile QBs in the league right now. Some might call him a running back, but the dude gets the job done when he's healthy, and this team is scary when he's healthy. Obviously, to start the season, you got him fully healthy. You got Mark Andrews. They got Zay Flowers in the draft as a weapon. They actually got Odell as well, and then you got a decent backfield. On the other side, another rookie quarterback, CJ Stroud. I am not much of a college football viewer, so I can't really add much opinion on the new guys that are coming in and taking these QB jobs. And I think Lamar, starting the season at full force, is going to make it past the Texans pretty easily, in my opinion. So I am going to give this one to the Ravens, 27-17. Bengals and Browns, as I film this, Joe Burrow's status of playing week 1 is sort of in the air, but it looks optimistic that he actually will play. And you got the Browns, who are going to get a first full season of Deshaun Watson, and we'll see if he'll be able to do what he did for the Texans with the Browns. We didn't really see a ton of that in the time he did get to play last year, and I just think even with a little bit of a banged up Joe Burrow, all the weapons around him, his receiving core is great. He's got Joe Mixon. They're probably going to give up a good amount of points to the Browns because I think the Bengals defense isn't really going to be able to stop them at single digits. I think they're actually going to keep up with them, but I think the final laugh, the last laugh, will go to Joe Burrow and the Bengals, and they win this Battle of Ohio, 24-21. Colts and Jags. We all saw the Jags impress us last year, making the playoffs, making the comeback against the Chargers. Trevor Lawrence showed bright spots throughout the season, and we got another rookie quarterback. Anthony Richardson will be starting for the Colts, but they have had all kinds of drama this offseason. Jonathan Taylor, are you going to trade him? No, they don't. So what do? They put him on the PUP list, which means he can't play the first 4 weeks. So you got all that drama going on with him. How does that affect everybody else? Obviously, they're going to say, oh, we're not even paying attention to that. We're focusing on the guys that are on the field. We want to win. Yeah. But does the morale get affected overall by all that happening? I think it does a little bit. And then you got the Jags over there who don't have that problem. Trevor Lawrence probably just came off his best year in the NFL. And I think he's going to start this season against this Colts team who's had problems. And they're going to win 30-20. Buccaneers and Vikings. The Bucs no longer have Tom Brady. We will see how that affects them going through the whole season. Obviously, Tom Brady can change any team you put him on for the better. And then you got the Vikings, who played tons of crazy games last year. I didn't even realize how many there were until I watched the Netflix series Quarterback. That was great, by the way. And you got to see all that personality of Kirk Cousins, who clearly loves his job. I'm sure any NFL player does. But, I mean, you can just see the passion when you watch that show with Kirk Cousins. Then you got Justin Jefferson, best receiver in the NFL. Then you got TJ Hawkinson, great tight end. You just got a good, solid offense around him. And I think this Buccaneers team is going to struggle to find their identity for the first few weeks without Tom Brady. So give me the Vikings winning 27-19. Titans and Saints. The Saints have a new quarterback at the helm. Derek Carr, no longer a Raider, a New Orleans Saint. You got the Titans, who got Ryan Tannehill, who has the most roller coaster path that I've ever seen. This dude goes to the highest of highs, and then you'll see him at the lowest of lows. But when you got a running back like Derrick Henry, just a big old train coming at everybody, just going to bulldoze every single person in his way, that is your offense. You run through him, literally. And I think this Titans offense is going to be good. I mean, all these teams that will have question marks later in the season are good for now. Obviously, everyone's healthy, everyone's good, and I do like the Titans better right now. I think we'll see Derek Carr have a learning curve going from a team he spent his whole career with to a brand new team for the first time. I think it's going to be the Titans pulling off the victory, 28-24. 49ers and Steelers. Steelers are kind of rebuilding their team after years with Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell. They had this chemistry, they had this core, and now it's a whole new squad. We saw it last year. Kenny Pickett, Najee Harris, George Pickens. All these guys are now becoming that new era for Pittsburgh. And then over for San Francisco, you got Brock Purdy, who just changed the 49ers world last year when it was his turn to become the quarterback. And the defense of the 49ers, definitely one of the best in the NFL. So these young guys for Pittsburgh, they've had their experience, but still, when you're this young and you're going up against the better defenses in the NFL that are going to be good against your pass, your run, it doesn't matter what you do, they're going to find a way to stop you. And I definitely think they're going to have the edge in this matchup. I think 49ers will win 31-17. The Cardinals and the Commanders. I'm going to call this one the Battle of Mid. Maybe I should pick a matchup every week to coin as the Battle of Mid. For week one, I'm calling it this game right here. Kyler Murray has been having problems. The quarterback for the Commanders is not going to light the world on fire. So I really think this game could go either way, but I honestly think it's going to be a very disappointing season for the Cardinals. I think they had a small window of opportunity, and they missed that. And ever since they missed that, it's just going to be problems moving forward for the Cardinals. And this defense for the Commanders, I think it's definitely good enough to stop them right here, right now. And I think they got enough young guys in the receiving corps for their quarterback to feel comfortable. You have Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, and Antonio Gibson as the running back. I think these guys are going to be able to ease the quarterback through week one, and the Commanders will take this one 26-20. Bears and Packers, historical matchup, but without Aaron Rodgers. Feels weird to say that. Jordan Love, who is getting his first full season in the NFL. Obviously, he's been Aaron Rodgers' backup his whole career. But now that he has gone off to the Big Apple, this is Jordan Love's time to gain the love from the cheeseheads. And I do not think he will pull it off in week one. Justin Fields definitely showed all kinds of promise and hope for the Chicago Bears last year. He was going nuts in some of the games he played. And I think he's going to start off on a good foot good run game, good pass game in week 1 here against the Packers. Give me Chicago winning 27-20. Raiders and Broncos. This could be battle of the mid-2, if I'm being honest. Jimmy Garoppolo is now the quarterback of the Raiders. After it did not work out in San Francisco, they moved on. They clearly found their guy. He is trying to get a fresh start here in Las Vegas. And Russell Wilson, he tried to find that fresh start last year with Denver. Wow, he fell off hard. Now, do I think this is the final downfall of Russell Wilson? No, I do think we could see him return to Seahawks Russell Wilson this year. I'm not saying that's the more likely thing to happen. I definitely think we're probably 75% sure going to see that same Russell Wilson that just does not have that same talent, is making terrible throws, terrible decisions, and I think that is going to cost them in week 1. I think the Raiders, with Josh Jacobs, they can lean to him. If Garoppolo's not working, he's a very good running back, and he has one of the best receivers to throw to in Devontae Adams. So give me the Raiders barely pulling this one off, 24-17. Seahawks and Rams. Now, last year, I totally thought my Seahawks were going to have one of the worst years I've ever experienced as a fan. Geno Smith was named our starting quarterback, and he proved all of us wrong. He had a great season. The rookies were coming through big time. We had Kenneth Walker absolutely take that spot as our running back. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, that veteran leadership to ease Jackson Smith-Njigba into our wide receiving core. And I'm so excited to see this all come together. And we got some rookies that went off last year for defense. It's just a team that knows how to get the next era for Seattle Seahawks football ready. And with the Rams aging, Matthew Stafford's getting up there, Aaron Donald has already contemplated his career retiring, still playing a few times, and they don't even have Cooper Kupp for week 1. One of the best receivers on that team in the NFL. We've seen it, we know it, but I think we are going to see the Seahawks and their chemistry pull it off against the Rams, and their already struggles that have hit the team before the season's even started, winning 27-17. Dolphins and Chargers. Now we know when Tua Tagovailoa was fully healthy and he was on that field, he was impressing all of us. He was making great plays, and he's definitely got those deep threats in Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. And with the Chargers, they got tons of threats defensively, offensively. You got Herbert, you got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler over on defense. You got Bosa, you got Mack, and you got J.C. Jackson coming back from injury. And this Chargers team, even though they have all of those weapons, gave up a ton of points, I feel like, every game. Even when their offense was firing, that defense was letting the other team be right there with them. And I think that's going to be the case until I see things change. As long as Tua's healthy, which obviously it's the start of the year, everyone's healthy unless you got injured during preseason. Sorry if you did. But I definitely think we are going to see the Dolphins' high-powered offense click against this Chargers defense that is prone to giving up points. So give me the Dolphins winning 30-24. Eagles and Patriots, a former Super Bowl matchup. We saw the Eagles go right up to the Super Bowl last year against the Kansas City Chiefs, and they were right there, staying in that game, making it an awesome Super Bowl, but they did come up short. Obviously, they're going to have that fire in their eyes. They are going to have that ice in their veins, and they are going to be angry. Jalen Hurts is going to come out there, and he is going to do exactly what he did last year and just take it to a whole nother level. And the Patriots, well, they've been there before when they had Brady, not Mac Jones. This team just does not have that same feel as the Brady era Patriots. Obviously, he's one of the greatest of all time. How can you replicate that? But when this Eagles team is as good as it is, I definitely think it is going to be a problem for the Patriots. The defense is great. The offense is amazing. And I think the Eagles pull off this victory, 28-20. Cowboys and Giants. Now the Cowboys, everybody hypes them up every single year, especially Cowboys fans. It's our year. Yeah, I've heard it a million times. The Giants, Daniel Jones, he kind of showed flashes when he came to the playoffs last year. I was like, oh, that's the quarterback we've been looking for. Where have you been this whole time? But then, a lot of what we've seen from Daniel Jones is pretty mid and pretty upsetting. So this is also one of the historic matchups in football, Cowboys and Giants. Tony Pollard gets a full season at running back to himself. He's not splitting it with Zeke anymore, so I think he is going to absolutely take over in that department. Then on defense, Trayvon, Micah Parsons. Those guys already are leaders in that defensive locker room for the Cowboys, and I think they are definitely going to make an impact here against the Giants. And I think Dak will be solid enough to pick apart that Giants defense. And I think the Cowboys win 31-23. Bills and Jets. Give this one the matchup of the week for Austin Kleschka. I'm going to do this every single week. Pick one of the games that I think is going to be the best game of the week. I think it's this one right here. I think we're going to have ourselves a New York Big Apple shootout. Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in football. He's got one of the best receivers in Stephon Diggs. He is kind of right there with Mahomes and Brady. That effect where he can take any of the guys on offense and make them better. And then on the other side is the New York Jets, led by Aaron Rodgers this year. Feels very Brett Favre of him. And then Dalvin Cook also got added to the team. And just from the Hard Knocks videos I've seen, they were covering the Jets this year, this looks like a determined Aaron Rodgers. He looks very passionate, very locked in, more than I saw in his last years in Green Bay. And I think he's going to show everybody in this game. Definitely going to put it all out there. I'm sure he does every single game, but I think there's going to be a little extra oomph in this one, especially in this whole season. Fight till the final second clocks down. I think the final score will be the Bills winning 33-27 in an absolutely entertaining shootout. And that will wrap up week 1 of Kleschka Picks. If you made it to the end of this video, I want you to comment down below how excited you are to see Kleschka Picks back on the Austin Kleschka YouTube channel. All right, like the video, subscribe, tell your mom, your dad, grandma, grandpa, pets, friends, brothers, sister, aunt, uncle, everybody you know to subscribe if they haven't already. I got this, you got this, we all got this, and I will see you next time.